You are watching Racing to Win. Welcome back as we move on to the preview now for race number 7. Before we get into that, some breaking news because Handsome Bobo's just come out. Race 7, number 2. Handsome Bobo is a late scratching. Causeway handicap it is. It's over the 1200 metres and Silver Fig comes off the all-weather and back onto the turf. The 2 is out. Kirpany goes up £5 for the second on Weed the Storm. Grateful Heart jumps from the 1000 up to the 1200 metres. Hong Kong Win, the 6 horse, is on a 4-day backup. He ran in the Group 3 down the straight on the weekend. Kaying Master placed 2 from 2 in Class 2. Igniting's a last start winner course and distance. And the 10, Helene Wisdom Star, gets the blinkers on. Satanta, a first starter here in Hong Kong. So Handsome Bobo's come out now, Tom, which it could have had a pace influence on the race, but if he missed the start, he could have been back in the field. So on that, we've got pairs.
Yeah, well, he was so out last start, wasn't he, Handsome Bobo? So we don't need to worry about him here. But Igniting, Paul led off the front last start, or up was near the pace anyway. Kaying Master, does he get across from barrier 11?
Yeah, he's got the speed, hasn't he, to get across over the 1200. So I think he'll come across. I think the biggest recipient of Handsome Bobo coming out is going to be California Rad, because he's drawn 7, which is just a little bit awkward, but he should be able to get the pace to get into that spot now. I thought there was a possibility he could have been 3 wide with that. Satanta, who's the first starter here in Hong Kong, should be able to sit midfield. Shining Gem likewise, and Helene Wisdom Star, big change in distance for him, back to 1200 metres. He'll go back, I think.
All right, so that's how it pans out here. Handsome Bobo, he can lead, but as Tom said, he did miss the start last time, so we don't need to worry about him on the speed map anymore, which means one of his race rivals, Kirpany, now has no horse on his inside, and Vincent Ho pilots for Casper Founds.
Vincent, Kirpany is a horse that you'll jump back on board this Wednesday night. He went close last time, but sadly just couldn't quite get there.
Yeah, last time got a good draw and he got the speed up there. Probably should have led on him and he could have been closer, but it's hard to say still. But this time got good draw again, 1200 won before, so he should do it.
I guess the one horse you didn't want to see in front of you was We the South, who has a great course and distance record. Did you think you had him covered? I mean, he gave a good kick, and your horse did as well.
Yeah, my horse showed a lot of speed in the 1000 too, and we'll see how the race pan out.
And just on the trip, you mentioned it there a few moments ago. Obviously, he's a 1000-metre winner on a couple of occasions. Also 112. You're drawn well. Do you think the trips come sort of alike to this horse? He's versatile in that respect?
With a good draw, definitely help, and for sure he can handle 12 from last run. It still stays on very well. Even after the line, he kept going, so 12 is not a problem for him.
We the South now a 6-time winner after holding him off in that race. So that's Kirpany and a couple of his opposition that he faces over the 1200 this week. One horse that wasn't in that race is this one. Paul, we'll come to you first because he's always been one of your favourites, California Rad. You said the scratching of Handsome Bobo is likely to be a plus, which means even though he's drawn wide again, he might be able to get into a nice spot.
Yeah, and look, he's been running in some really strong form races at Sha Tin. He's up against Trillion Win, Naboo Attack, California Spangle, fantastic way as well. So look, he's going to find this a little bit easier, I thought. He has won off a higher rating before. His last one was off a rating of 93. He's now down to a rating of 91. And we know he likes it here at Happy Valley. He's a 4-time winner, so a lot of positives for him.
All of those reasons why I've put him in. He's been racing in some strong races. He's got barrier 7 here. He's had 13, 12, 11, 9, 10 in his last 4 runs. So slightly better drawn here with the scratching. It opens up nicely for him, I think.
It does indeed. Now, we're also going to go back to his run 2 starts ago, Tom. They rode him back in the field this day. He's got to be a better horse when he goes forward, even from those wide draws, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think so. Look, he's been back in that last start effort. Of course, this behind California Spangle, who's been terrific. He was good at the trials again on Tuesday morning, was California Spangle, but California Rad here. He still finished off, I thought, okay, got a little bit of hindrance in the run there, but from a better draw here, Paul, slightly better anyway, in a smaller field. I think he's going to get every chance now.
Yeah, he'll be a lot closer, I think. I think they tried to ride him back, and look, as Mark said, I think he's a lot better horse when he's not far away from the pace.
Well, he's trained by Tony Cruz, and he's not big on numbers, Paul, as far as the night goes, but you can make a case for nearly all of them, maybe with the exception of Elaine Wisdom Star with the trip being unsuitable?
Yeah, coming right back to 1200. Might be a stretch too far for him, but Tony's obviously got California Rad in the race as well. Beaver Popcorn's going to be really well supported. Kaying Star always runs his race. You're My Everything back to 1200. Champion Dragons look good in his 2 starts here.
He has. I quite like You're My Everything. He might come up an okay price too, considering they tried him over ground last start but didn't quite finish the race off.
And Champion Dragon makes his Happy Valley debut. Okay, a couple of more of these runners in this race, Tom. And this is a horse you were keen on this night, Igniting up outside of the speed. He was down in grade and comes back to Class 2.
Well, that's the big question here, Mark, with Class 2. He's had 8 goes in the grade. He's finished 2nd, 3rd and 4th. He's never been able to capitalise and win a race in this grade. He's dropped 18 pounds since his last effort. And I thought over the final stages, Paul did it pretty easily. I left him out just with that win record in this grade.
Yeah, I've got him in on a minor line because he can show he has been placed in the, from 3 times from his 8 starts. So, look, I've kept him in on a minor line. The horse is going well. And he has shown a bit of gate speed again in his last couple of starts. He sort of lost his way a little bit, but he just seems to be coming back now.
And our final replay, Paul, is across at Shah 10. Now, Shining Gem is the horse that we're going to have a look at here. That is him tucked in behind the leader. He's back from the 1,400 metres of this race to the 1,200 this week.
Yeah, so he's coming back here to Happy Valley as well. He has won over the course and distance off a rating of 80 before. He's rated 82, so a reasonably similar rating. Look, he hasn't won this season, but he's a pretty fit horse. He's had 6 goes and has run 2nd in a couple of thirds.
Yeah, I've got him in here. He was a big price last start. He was held up a little bit in the straight, but I thought he stayed on pretty well. You can see him diving through. I'm a Single Man on the rail, goes around at the weekend, so too does Rocket Spade. So I think that was a strong race leading into this.
All right, we'll touch briefly on Silver Fig. It's just hard for him on turf, isn't it?
It is. Look, he's won twice at Sharton, Silver Fig. Never won at Happy Valley before, but all his wins, most of his wins have been on the all-weather. So it's just whether he can bring it.
He has been back to the trials. He was okay in that trial, set out the back, finished 8th, but still stayed on.
Okay, your selections for a really good sprint, Paul. Unfortunately, no Henson Bobo, though.
No Henson Bobo, so we're going to go with California Rad. I think he'll get his opportunity now. Should be able to slot in there. Kerpenny will be right on the pace. Igniting, I think, found a bit of form again. And Kaying Master from that wide draw, another one that has been quite consistent and can get across. 5, 3, 8 and 7.
5, 9, 3 and 6. California Rad on top, 4-time course and distance winner from barrier number 7 now with the scratch. I think should get a nice run through, and he's been running in some good races. So he's on top ahead of Shining Gem, 3rd last start behind I'm a Single Man. Kerpenny, a course and distance winner. And the other one that goes in is Hong Kong Win. He's yet to have a win course and distance. He only has tried on one occasion, and he did place 4th in that Joe Moreira John Size quick backup. 5, 9, 3, 6.
And the first starter, Satanta, raced under the same name for Tony Gollan, won over 1,200 twice at Eagle Farm and 1,400 metres too prior to arriving in Hong Kong.